everybody. This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. This is episode number 121, and we're almost in February, so close to April. Once we get into April, I'll been doing this for 3 years. So I want to thank everybody that's ever been on the podcast, anybody that's ever subscribed, watched the video, or liked it. Appreciate it very much. We also got to get the pay the bills, so I also want to make sure and thank Jennifer Smitis, Mike Snyder, Caitlin Cornick, Devin Van Wyn, and Gracie Lagos and Melissa Caruso, the escrow officers here at Sugar Land in Richmond. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do the podcast. Plus, also everybody else that works for us. Appreciate you guys. And if you are a real estate agent or a vendor like this gentleman that operates in the Fort Bend County area, and you watch the podcast and you want to be a guest, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. Ready?
Ready.
So let's get episode 121 started. Pretty much everybody knows who this guy is. And if you don't know who he is, you've seen his beard before.
Yeah.
This is Dustin Orlando from First Rate Inspections. He's the owner and boss man for the First Rate Inspections company. I'll let you introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Yeah, my name is Dustin Orlando. Pretty much the all hat wearer at First Rate Inspections, from top line management to field inspector to janitor. So do everything that's required of us.
I didn't know janitor was on that list.
Yeah, man. Sweep floors, take out the trash, even clean the toilet when it's
clean
required.
Up after a tree is in the podcast room.
Yeah. The unfortunate events that set us back.
Exactly. Did you guys have any? You're a lot farther north than I am. Did you have any damage from the Ice-Mageddon?
No, not terrible. Low temperatures and
it was cold.
Prep the generator and do all the things, but fortunately never lost power or had any issues with the ice.
Have you seen, all of a sudden I've started getting on Facebook all these ads for all of these battery operated generators now that don't need gas and don't make any noise. They hook straight up to your house.
Yeah. I'm glad you said this. So we actually just became an affiliate of Base Power.
That was the company, Base Power.
Yeah, I've got it installed on my house. It is an amazing
So
piece
we're
of
going
equipment.
to talk about this before you leave today, because I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, so let's talk about inspection first. So tell everybody knows who you are. I'm sure they are, and they, if you're in the real estate world, you know what an inspection is. But for those who don't, what do you guys do?
We do everything.
They don't.
I know that's the generic answer from every home inspector. So aside from the general home inspection, like the check, propagated forms, lines 1A through Z, right? Besides the standard home inspection, we do everything from invasive stucco to mold inspections, environmental testing, termites, pool, sprinkler systems, thermal imaging, the gamut of inspection services that we provide is way more than what we can talk about in our episode today. But essentially what we try to tell clients and agents specifically is, if there's a service or a need that they have, we can find a way to provide it. If it's not something that we offer right then, we will find a way to source that inspection service for them and then bring it in-house and say, hey, does this bring value to us to add as a service? And that's how we've, over the years, culminated so many relationships and brought in new service, was the demand of one agent saying, hey, I have a client who wants this done, and now it's part of our service offering.
You know what's amazing to me? Because I have worked over my real estate career, lots of different inspection companies. My relationship with you is the longest, but when someone says, hey, can you do this? And you say no, you later decide if it's worth bringing into your company's offering. I can name, I'm not going to, but I can name at least 15 inspection companies that I've told hundreds of times, you need to start doing this. And to this day, they still don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm telling you how to grow your business, and you're not doing anything. So that's one good thing or one thing that First Rate Inspections is known for is they're not doing it and you need it. They'll probably add it to their offering.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. We want to be the resource. So if there's a problem, we want to bring you a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And when a client or an agent calls and says, "Man, my inspector just can't do this. They don't have time in their schedule, or they've said that this wasn't even a thing."
Mm-hmm.
We even went as far as now we do foundation surveys. We have a structural engineer on staff who will come in and do all of the depiction of the survey and say, "Hey, here's my professional determination, stamped, sealed, signed." That's a letter that you can rely on. Like that is a factual statement written by an engineer, not the opinion of an inspector.
Right. So it holds a lot of weight.
Correct. Yeah.
What area of town do you operate in?
All of it.
All over Texas or Houston?
Yeah, man. We used to, up until about 2 years ago, we tried to stay, our office address is located previously in Jersey Village. And we said, well, we're going to hold a 50-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
And then that expanded to 75-mile radius. Then we opened a satellite office in Cypress. That kind of widened the berth. And just with growth and for lack of a better term, just the popularity and visibility of first-rate inspections, agents want quality, so they're willing to pay you to go out of town. And we service Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Galveston. So for the right agent, the right client, I mean, we'll pretty much travel the state of Texas for them.
And you mentioned popularity and things like that. One of the ways that you promote your company is you also are not only an inspection company, you're also certified by the state of Texas to teach continuing education classes.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And so talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we started doing education about 6 years ago. We went to a conference, as many agents do, similar to how I won't name the brokerage, but how a specific brokerage hosts. They have Bold every year. Other ones have Ignite.
I know which one he's talking about.
They have these big conferences where people and top producers from around the nation come together and they spitball ideas and, hey, what's working for your business and how can I duplicate in my business? So we go to this conference and we're kind of at that break point of, man, how do I get to that next level of business revenue? How do we get visibility? So thank goodness for the time that COVID brought us. And I don't say like on the medical end of that,
right?
But where it stopped site visits, it stopped the office visits where we could sit back and say, look, we're not investing in the candy bowls anymore and dropping off pins and pads and all the little knickknacks and gadgets. How can we get back in front of agents? And so we went around the room in our coaching group, and one of the gentlemen in our group said, hey, man, I don't know if you've heard of this program, but we teach through this education platform. Call them up, see if they're in Texas. And we made contact with them. At the time, they weren't. So we worked with them to get them with Trek, get on their platform, get everything approved. We had to write a bunch of the classes to meet Trek standards.
Right.
And we're their acting power of attorney in the state of Texas. So we're technically the educators.
Right.
We just feed funnel our
You're the provider.
license through them. Yeah.
Yep.
And to date, we started with 4 classes. We taught a class on mold. We had a class on air quality. And then we taught a class on FHA inspections and pool inspections. So those were the first 4 that we taught 6 years ago, and they were on a cycle.
Right.
And agents were like, we don't want to keep coming and seeing you for the same
Yeah.
stuff all
I get
the time.
that too. Yeah.
And so getting feedback from our BDO friends and other people in the business of kind of need to spread that berth a little. We need to, do you have any other classes?
Right.
So my wife and I, we spent the past 5 years building out 42 additional classes and mostly targeted towards every service that we offer. So it covers everything from our upcoming 203K class we're going to have here at the Sugarland office, to mold, to stucco, pools, spas, irrigation systems, appliance classes, and they're all CE approved. We look forward to every agent that can come out and attend one of them. But yeah, that's how we.
How much are they? What do you charge?
We don't charge anything. We believe that the quality is in the relationship. I'm not trying to charge agents to show up and get CE credits.
You're not trying to create a revenue stream from your CE classes.
Correct. I'd rather bring quality education to agents, and the hook in that is if you enjoyed the class and you appreciated the education, you'll love the inspection. So if you feel the education process went well and you learned a lot, you'll learn a lot more. And we're bringing that same level of education and dedication to their clients. Every time that phone rings, every time we book an inspection, they get that same level of quality.
Yeah, and you've actually been teaching classes for me for how many years now?
I think this would be, so I've been an educator for 3.5 years now.
So it's been,
about 3.5 years.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing when I was in property management, and you know, because there's no value in dropping off a bucket full of candy or donuts or sandwiches or whatever. What's that other than feed them? What does it do for them?
Right.
You know, so you remember Steve Rosenberg, right? So we were coming home from an event at one of the brokerages. I won't say which one. And he looked over at me and he goes, "Why don't you do that?" And I was like, "Do what?" He goes, "Why don't you take your marketing knowledge," because I graduated with a marketing degree, and help educate real estate agents. Because the one thing that, from a property management perspective, that we figured out real fast is that agents don't like property management companies. And at the time, most brokerages didn't do anything to help their agents grow their business. They taught them how to read a contract. They taught them how to stay track compliant. They taught them how to answer the phone. But they didn't teach them how to generate leads and determine whether or not the leads were good or bad, or if their business was working and they're spending money in the right places and spinning their wheels and things like that. They didn't teach them that you're running your own company and you need a company name and a logo and a slogan, and you just like everybody else. So I was terrified of public speaking. When I was in college, I got A's in everything except public speaking. I mean, I just was not.
I would have never guessed.
I know, because, you know, because now, you know me, I can talk to anybody, 300 people or 3 people. But, you know, and so I went home and I thought about this and I decided, well, if I want to forward my career, I guess I need to figure out how to do this. So we came up with 6 classes. They were all marketing related. Sent them in a track, got them approved, and I remember the first time I ever taught a class. I think I lost 20 pounds that night because I sweated like you know what everywhere. I couldn't remember what I was supposed to teach. I was staring at the screen most of the time.
Yeah.
But now, for both of us, it's just like, sit down, be quiet. You know, this is our class. You know, you just learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable and confident at it, So yeah, I mean, it's bringing value to real estate agents where somebody else is not.
Right.
And that's the hole that you're filling.
Yeah. And I want to go back to something you said. Agents don't like property management companies.
No.
And there's a common theme there where people have the perception that agents don't like anyone involved in the transaction that's going to kill their deal.
Yeah.
Agents don't like the appraiser. Agents don't like the surveyor. Agents don't like the inspector. What I've found in my short time in being in this industry, what I've found is it's not the agents don't like those specific those specific industry professionals, agents don't like bad industry professionals. They don't like the ones
you're
that
right.
are that
You're
make
right.
things difficult. They don't like the ones that are unresponsive, who aren't there to help them in business.
Mhm.
But to be candid, I've heard great things about your history as a project management individual, someone who was
Mhm.
in that space and who pretty much dominated that area and space before you transitioned into the title company.
Right.
And likewise with our company, we go to agents fairly often. If we're on the phone with them, if we're in person with them, or even if we're on site at an inspection,
Mhm.
before I go out, I'll look up the agent history and I'll see, okay, hey, this person used us 3 times in December. We're going out to the end of January. We're kicking off a new year, and I'll not memorize, but I'll kind of try to gather some piecemealed information and go and strike up a conversation with them. And hey, I want to say I thank you for the business you sent us in 25. What can we do to continue to be better? I always look for feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because if we don't ask, we don't know.
Mhm.
Then we don't know where to shift, how to correct, what
Yeah.
course of action to take to make us better for the agents.
Well, you're right, and the reason I say that they didn't like property management companies because it was when I got into Empire Industries, I was told that agents don't like property management companies because when Empire started, they got hit with that. Well, you're just another property management company that's here to steal our client. So we listened to the feedback, and the way we fixed that and became the number one property management company in the city was we put a clause in our property management contract that stated that if a client of ours that was referred to us by a real estate agent decided to sell their property, we did not list it. We called the agent that referred it to us, and they got the listing back. And that was where the disconnect was between the agent and the property management company, because before we did that, when a agent referred their client to a property management company, if they decided to sell the property management company listed the property and cut the agent out of it.
Yeah.
So we took the mindset that this is always going to be your client. We're just managing their property for you.
Right.
And when
Yeah.
we did that, it just blew up. And you're right. We fixed that. I ended up teaching all over the place, and then we were getting 5, 6, 7 new property management contracts from agent referrals a month by the time it was all over. So you're right. Listening to feedback, listening to agents, and addressing their concerns is definitely something that you need to do. And if companies in our industry don't do that, then they're considered, not the good ones to go to. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that becomes a kind of a norm. And it's not just new agents, they hear word of mouth, oh, inspectors are bad, or title company BDO over here, don't listen to that one, don't go there. Project management companies are bad. It's agents of all walks of life, tenured, brand new, however long they've been in the industry. What I commonly tell people when we hear that information, that they'll ask the question, well, you claim you're the best in Houston. Like, what makes you the better inspector, or what makes you the best inspector? And I tell people all the time, it's not me, it's our team. It takes a team to build the company and the reputation that we've built. Like, our brand is built based on trust, experience, knowledge, education. We don't just go out and willfully say, oh, we're the best inspection company in Texas because I said so. The proof is in the numbers.
you back it up.
I mean,
You
yeah,
have something to back it up with. Yeah.
there's nothing that we don't do to the full extent, and gather as much data about everything that we offer. And I get agents who will call us and say, hey, look, my clients have a relationship, the sister's brother is an inspector, this uncle or cousin or whoever it may be, they used this person when they bought their house, and they want them to use this person, but can I ask you a few questions? Sure. And they'll interview me on behalf of the inspector their client's going to use.
Right.
And I'll tell them, look, there are some great inspectors out there that don't work for first-rate inspections. There's good inspectors out there, but there's also some inspectors that people should steer clear of because of whether it be just bad practice, not working with an active license, just whatever it may be. Those small things compiled into a transaction and you run into problems, you're the only one left responsible.
Right. Yeah.
And so we try to educate and not scare anybody, but let them know, like, these are things you want to look at when you're looking to pick an inspector. Go on Trek's website, type in that inspector's name. Are they active? Look at their education. How many CE credits do they have attributed to their license, and how, like, what all are they doing as an inspector? What are they learning? What are they educating themselves on? And that might not be important to some people, but that goes a long way when you're talking about trusting the ability of someone to go and inspect a multi-million-dollar piece of property, and the inspection ticket rings up $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. It's a chunk of money to spend on someone you don't know.
Yeah, it's and I'm the same way. I have agents that call me all the time and ask me title questions when they're at my competitor. It's because the competitor's not performing and they're wanting to double check. Aren't they supposed to be doing this? Aren't they supposed to be? And the reason that I answer the questions is I could take the road, well, if the contract was us, I can help you, but it's not, so you need to go back to them. But I don't do that because I know that if I help them and I help them fix the problem that they're having with that title company, the next time they get a contract,
Right.
I usually get it because they know they don't have to go through that with me because I'm the one that fixed it in the first place.
Yeah. People will remember who helped them.
Exactly.
But they will duly remember those who caused them headaches.
Exactly. Well, I just had a real estate agent 2 days ago called up here, left a message. Jennifer got the message. Jennifer sent the message to me. I called the agent on my way home. It was 5:45. And first of all, she was extremely surprised that I was calling her at 5:45. I said, I work all hours. It don't matter. Let's get what can I help you with? And long story short, I was able to fix what her problem was the very next morning. And when she came up here to bring us the earnest money check, she wouldn't leave until she got to meet me because she wanted to thank me because I was the only one that called her back and fixed her problem. And it's just service, man. It's just, it's just getting people to do the right thing. And, it's sad in this day and age, not just in real estate, but across every industry. Customer service is not that great right now.
Yeah, it's not. I personally get phone calls. It's unbelievable. Like sometimes 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. And agents are like, "Oh my God, I was just going to leave you a message. I'm so sorry for bothering you." Like, look, I'm a machine. Yeah. I don't sleep. I eat, breathe, and work our business. Mm-hmm. When an agent calls and they're like, "Oh my God, we have a short close. I need it done tomorrow. Can you fit us in?" Yes. Mm-hmm. The answer will always be yes. And if it's a let me look, like, we will accommodate. We will move things. We will shift things. We will make it work. But besides all that, it's, does anyone else that you're calling to that point, do they answer the phone? Right. Are they responsive? Are they taking care of you? If the phone call is, "Who do you think you are calling me at this hour?" That's probably not who you want to be in business with. Right. But we call, we serve, we show up, and we educate. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the basis and the foundation in which we've built First Rate's reputation.
And most inspection companies do not do that. So
you said it, not me.
I've known you for a very long time, and I work with other inspection companies. I've even told other inspection companies, you don't do any presentations, you don't teach any classes, all you do is ask people for business. That's not providing any value to your clients and to your customers. So you don't have to do it. I'm just telling you, asked me, "Kevin, how can I grow my business?" Well, I'm telling you, it's not because I believe it's going to work for you. It's because I know people that it does work for. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And it works for me too. I do the same thing. I had a meeting with an agent this morning that looked me right in the face and said, Kevin, I'm stuck with my marketing. I'm scared to do things. I don't know what I should be doing. I'm worried about what other people think and all that stuff. And after I got done with him for an hour, his mind was completely changed, 180 degrees. And he's like so excited about getting down and doing his marketing now for his company because he was looking at it from the wrong perspective. And, it's just one of the things where you have to get out there and you have to bring value to whoever your clients are. If you don't do that, then why should they use you? Because there are order takers all over the streets here, and there's inspection companies all over the city of Houston.
Right.
So they're not all created equal.
Right. And that rings true because when we talk to clients who call us and we ask them, where did you get our information? Where did you hear about us? We always want to know.
Mm-hmm.
We're inquisitive beings. Like, where did you hear about us? How did you hear about First Rate? Was it just a Google search, Facebook, a friend, agent referral? Because we do have an agent referral program. So for those of you agents out there who decide you want to use First Rate, join up. What we do is after so many referrals, they get entered into a drawing for a giveaway, and they can opt to use that giveaway as something of their own. They can use it as a closing gift.
Mm-hmm.
Once it leaves our hands, it's free to you to do with whatever you want.
Right.
But we enter them all in to win at a giveaway, and depending on how much business they do throughout the year, those giveaways get nicer and nicer towards the end of the year. And we'll talk to agents about securing their business and agent loyalty and what keeps you with First Rate Inspections. So what keeps you coming back? Similar to, what keeps them coming back to Stewart?
Mm-hmm.
Why does an agent who offices in Humble use Kevin and his escrow officers and their team? It's the service provided. It's how you made me feel during that transaction, how responsive you were, how much you took care of me, you guided me through all of the steps, versus the competition who just says, here's your data that you paid for, let me collect and move on to the next transaction.
Right.
So we don't want to ever be, and if we've ever made anyone feel this way, like we want to know, we are not transactional business, we're a relational business. We want to be in relationships with people so that when we do something wrong, if we misstep, they can feel free to call us, and it's a conversation. It's not a debate.
Yep, that's good. So in the few minutes we have left in the podcast today, you mentioned your agent referral program. What else does First Rate Inspections do to market the business, to get in front of agents and your clients?
So aside from the CE classes, which is a huge support, we have our website, firstrateinspections.com. We have a Facebook page, which is just at First Rate Inspections, Instagram at First Rate Inspections. My wife has a TikTok that's business appropriate, but it's not at First Rate Inspections. That's shout out to Christy. So we do a bunch of the social media stuff, but we also do, let's see. So the biggest thing that keeps us top of mind with agents is our home binder program. So when a client does a home inspection with us, they get their digital binder that gets delivered to them. Well, that agent, whenever that client opens that binder, the agent and all of their information is it's top of mind. Then they open their binder and go through all the mechanical cues and what things they need to look for in their home. And the reason we do that is, likewise, when a client goes to sell that house in 7 to 10 years, they're going to take that binder to deliver to the new buyer. Well, in preparation to list, they're going to crack that book out and go, oh, look, Miss Susie Q, she did such a good job helping us transact on the purchase of this home. Let's call up and see if she's still in business today and have her help us list the house. And it's all tied back to the MLS. So anytime you change numbers, change emails, change headshots, agents.
Some of you should.
Anytime any of those changes are made, it updates in their home
Right.
binder. So they're being led top of mind for the lifetime of that home.
That's interesting. And you also sponsor events like my events and things and other partners' events. Is there anything that you guys are not doing right now to market your business that you want to start doing, that you're going to be doing in the future?
No, that's a leading question.
Because there better be an answer.
Yeah. So we're in the process of getting our podcast built back up and getting our room renovated.
There you go.
After the storm decided to take it out. We're going to start doing our podcast again. The goal is by March 1st. And then also with the launch of our new business, we're starting a restoration company so we can dually help support those who find themselves in need of water, fire, mold restoration. That's something that we'll be bringing to the market very soon.
Oh, cool. Is there anything that we have not mentioned today so far that you want to tell everybody?
Man, we've talked about so much.
We have.
The common question that gets brought up in all of our classes is, do you have Spanish speaking inspectors?
There you go.
Yeah, we do. We have a bilingual office staff as well as bilingual inspectors. So anyone has a need for a Spanish speaking client, we can help do so. And for really any other language, we're in the process of beta testing right now. Google's transformative translation into our software. So whatever language they speak, we can do a full report with them right in front of them, and it will transcribe onto their device in the report
In the language, yeah.
in real time.
That's
so
pretty cool.
We're in the beta test of doing that right now. It's not for release probably until the next quarter. But those are some of the things that we get asked quite often, and we feel is a need for our community. So we want to make sure we bring that to the table.
Cool. And then I don't remember the date now. Do you? February 24th?
24th, yeah.
24th is the date that he's going to be teaching.
We'll be teaching FHA 203K renovation loan CE course.
Yeah. So if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this podcast, mark the date down, February 24th, here at the Sugar Land office in the first floor conference room. Probably, is that a 3-hour class?
2 hour.
2 hours. So probably going to start at 10.
Yeah, 10 to noon.
10 to noon. So with lunch, you know, agents got to eat. So one thing you haven't mentioned to anybody yet today on the podcast is, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, so you can visit our website at firstrateinspections.com, or you can reach us via email at clientcare@firstrateinspections.com. And that's not spelt out. That's the number 1 ST rate inspections with an S.com. Or you can call our office at 832-567-5791.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on episode 121 of my podcast. Hoping to do 500, so keep this going.
Look forward to being in many more.
So if you guys, anybody that knows who I am and what I do in title, I don't refer everybody that does something. I only have a couple of friends in each aspect of the business, and he's one of them. So if you need a real estate inspection company to come out and inspect your house anywhere in the Houston area for the right price, anywhere in Texas, please give them a call. They've been around a while. They're very well respected, and you'll see them at most of my events. Give me your phone number one more time.
832-567-5791.
All right, guys. So once again, thank you to Jennifer and Mike and Caitlin, Devaney, Van, Gracie, Melissa, everybody that I work with for the podcast. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have it. And if you want to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527. Hope you guys made it through the Ice-Mageddon. There was no ice. It was just cold.
Yeah.
My wife is upset, though. Her roses bushes aren't looking too good right now, but I think they'll pull through.
It's all good.
You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.